Hi, I'm CJ Elmberg at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. This is a brand new 2025 Cimarron Norstar 2-horse bumper pull. This is a Warmblood trailer. So this is one of those straight loads, extra tall, so it'll really accommodate those bigger horses that you're looking for. So before we start walking you through this trailer, let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing. I'll show you how the trailer is actually laid out, give you some dimensions on it. We're just a hair under 16 foot on the floor. Like I mentioned, this is extra tall. It's 7'7" tall, so we have that extra height that you're looking for those bigger horses. Standard width, 6'10" wide. Again, with a front tack room on this one here, this straight load type setup. This trailer empty sits 3,100 pounds, so can easily be towed with a smaller SUV, half-ton pickup, anything along those lines. We'll talk a little bit about the braking system on it in a little bit. But that gives you a good idea on how the trailer is set up. But these Warmblood trailers have been really good, popular sellers for us. Again, this is a really well-equipped trailer. Cimarron is an all-aluminum constructed trailer. You're gonna have an 8-year structure warranty, 3-year hardware, and a 1-year no questions asked warranty on your tires. If you have a blowout, catch road debris, or even hit a nail that punctures the sidewall, they'll replace it from the date you purchase the trailer for 1 year. Don't just discard the tire. We'll need some information off of it and some pictures, but we can help you out of that process. Okay, here at the bumper pull hitch. On this one here, it's a 2 5/16 ball, so you'll need a 2 5/16. If you aren't quite sure what size drop you need, we've got some options for you through our parts department, whether it's a fixed drop or we've got like the B&W adjustables. But that way we can actually get it set up, make sure it's nice and level to your tow vehicle. But again, 2 5/16, the manual crank, bulldog jack on this. And then if we look at the actual front of this, you're gonna have the diamond plate down low. So that's gonna help protect from rocks. And I also want you to notice this one here is silver metallic sheeting. It's a little overcast here today, so you're not gonna quite see it, but if you get this trailer in the sunlight, you'll see those metallic flakes in this. This is a really popular color. White is standard. If you upgrade to this charcoal metallic black, it is an upcharge. There is some custom colors as well, but this is just a really good look to this trailer as far as that's concerned. Now, front tack room on this, I mentioned that. On this guy here, it's gonna be on the nose. So decent sized front tack room here. Fold up step. Anytime we have inventory that we're building, front tack rooms especially, they'll always get this fold up step. Just because we understand that the door frame is elevated a little bit on these guys. So it's a pretty big step, especially when we're carrying items. Maybe you're carrying saddles, maybe you're carrying totes, whatever it is. That step in the middle, breaking it up somewhat in half, really makes a big difference in that transition going in and out of this tack room. On the tack door, you're gonna have a brush tray, so a good spot for, just to catch all of, maybe it's fly sprays, maybe it's other, liniments, anything like that, bottles, brushes, anything that you wanna toss that maybe just doesn't get thrown on the floor in here, that's a good one. As we go in, a couple things. Directly across from the door is going to be a recessed saddle post. So that post is actually built into the wall, so it's recessed there. As you can see, we have a blanket bar, and then we've got 2 saddle pads themselves, carpeted. These are adjustable. You can actually just loosen up the nut, slide it where you want, tighten it back up. If you wanted to completely remove these or change the sequencing, you can loosen them, slide them up at the top. There's a circle actually cut in there that will allow for them to come out. So if you don't necessarily need these, they can go out. Store them somewhere safe so you have them, or if you want to change sequencing, add, maybe it's another saddle rack, maybe it's another blanket pole, we can do those type of items. On the partition wall, you're gonna have a set of hooks here. These are aluminum powder coated, and then 2 additional sets on this kind of short wall of this front tack room. So these guys here are 3 each, but there's carpet behind them. So that way when tack is actually moving against here, we're not actually getting, into this aluminum sheeting, scuffing up the wall, scuffing up any of, maybe a bit, anything like that. Again, it's gonna protect it there. The spare tire is located inside the nose here. So you have that guy, it's gonna match what's on the ground. And then you're actually gonna have a clothes bar up top there. So hanging from the ceiling, you can bring, you know, garment bags, those type of items, hang them right there. You do have window in the nose here and then one in the door, so you can get some air flow through here. You know, these tack rooms can get a little musty if you don't have the capability to get some fresh air into them. So you have a window there and then on the door. And then the last thing is you're gonna have an OptiBrite light. It's a big LED light. It's right on the inside here of this tack. So again, we're kind of getting good coverage throughout this entire tack room by having it where it's located there. The switch is right inside the door, so it's really easily accessible. And then on this door, you know, there's items like if you wanted to add an additional tray, you wanted to do the door organizer, those type of things can be done after the fact very easily. Fold up step, again, very easy to operate. It's on a gas shock, so it's just up and out of the way. The other thing about this trailer is you're gonna notice we're gonna have a lot of doors, ramps, everything is keyed like. So we can lock up this tack door, we can lock up the entire trailer with one key. That does make a big difference when we're actually trying to, secure this trailer, secure items that are in it, instead of trying to find 8 different keys, one for each door, one for each window. No, very easily one key. This is also Cimarron's 25th anniversary. So they are 25 years in business of building trailers. They are 100% employee owned. They're the only trailer manufacturer on the market out there that is employee owned. So it's an exciting year for them. Now we kind of get into this straight load. What's great about this setup is, as you can see, we have access doors. So we have these man doors that we can actually enter the stall area or exit, either one. So when we're loading horses, you can actually lead horses in, tie them up, and then actually step out this door. Or when we go to unload, you can step in from this way as well. But you're gonna have a 16-inch awning light above it. There's, again, one on each side, so you have plenty of light coverage out here. But these are really nice, again, just to be able to access the actual stall area itself. And within them, you've actually got the drop-down feed door. So this is framed. It's not a prefab window. This is all framework around it, so it's really stout. You're actually gonna have the jail bar that has a track built into it on the actual inside of the window. Very easy to operate. Welded hinges with greasers as well. So these type of items, you know, you want those framed windows, you want these welded hinges. Well, they took it a step further. These are items you're more than likely gonna open and close every time you use this trailer. So we want to have them hold up, but also with the greasers, and you'll see a brass rod in the middle here. So splitting these two, well, it actually goes the full length of this hinge, and it's actually got a groove cut into it. So imagine like a candy cane, that swirl that goes all the way around. When you feed grease into this hinge and you open and close this door multiple times, it's actually feeding the grease throughout the entire hinge itself, to where a lot of them have a welded hinge, but once they start getting a little squeaky, getting a little stiff, it's really hard to feed that lubricant throughout that hinge. You have to heat it up. I've seen customers come in where, you know, like on this door here, they've actually got holes drilled into this so they can actually feed the lubricant into the upper part and let it seep down, to where, again, you can actually just use the greasers to feed that and open it. Now, you noticed when I shut it, we do have this paddle latch over it, so this butterfly style. This guy here has to be open if you're coming from the inside out to open this door latch, because if it's across there, it won't allow it. But when we have these stall areas where a horse might sit there and play with that, the last thing we want them to do is be able to pop that open when we're in transit. So that's why you have the additional that goes across there. But as you can see, we've got doors on each side, so they match. So it's, again, you can work off of both sides of this trailer very easily. Now, axles, we have two 3,500-pound Dexter rubber torsion axles. With this, you're gonna get a 15-inch aluminum wheel, the black with silver, and then Goodyear tire. So this is a Goodyear tire, so made in the US tire itself. Again, like I mentioned, you have a 1-year no questions asked warranty on these tires. So From the date you purchase, they're covered for a year. You actually have electric brakes as well on this guy. So again, your tow vehicle needs an integrated brake controller or an aftermarket. If you need help with an aftermarket, we can set that up through our parts and service department and get that taken care of for you. Now, I've got the Dutch door because we have Dutch doors with the rear ramp as the access point of this trailer here. But as you can see, tucked behind it is actually a big, massive bus window. So that's over the horse's back and hip. Bus window's only half of them open, so I really give Cimarron a lot of credit. They really tried to maximize the size of this to really get airflow for our horses. The Dutch doors can actually be secure. You can actually go down the road with them like that. You can lock it as well. Like I mentioned, everything has one key, so you've got that capability there. But again, airflow in these guys is really key. If you notice with our drop window, it's got a bus window in there. This back, these rear Dutch doors have bus windows in them as well. And then you have the big one over the back and hip. Again, we can create airflow. You can create almost like a vacuum by opening and manipulating the airflow on these trailers. So at the back, again, I mentioned it is a Dutch door with a rear ramp. So as you can see, we've got both Dutch doors wrapped around and secure to the side of the trailer, and then the ramp is down. These are awesome trailers from the standpoint of the versatility, because yes, we can haul horses. If we want, I'll show you here in a second, we can actually move that divider out of the way. You can create a box stall, maybe a mare and a foal, maybe you just want somebody with a little bit more room, or maybe you're using it for something else, hauling some toys. We have a rear ramp load, and then it's an open box. So again, a ton of versatility to these trailers. You're gonna have an 8-inch load light at the top on this guy. So we have lights at the sides and at the rear on the exterior of the trailer. And then if you notice on these rear tail lights, there's a white X in the middle. That is standard on 25s moving forward. They did that a couple months after the 25 models came out, but that is a built-in backup light. So our tow vehicle light's usually blocked by the front of the trailer. You will get to places where it's dark. It is unfamiliar. It could be even at your own house, but you want that light coverage to be able to throw it in reverse and see what you have going on behind you. So that's a nice feature. We were putting a lot of backup lights on our inventory, and they've just made it standard. So I give them a lot of credit for that on making it a standard option. Okay, your stall area. We've got butt bars with pads on them. Divider with pads. Airflow up above there, so again, tons of airflow on this guy, and then even the head grill is airflow on it as well. So it is a nice feature to be able to, again, put a lot of air to this. The way that we view it is it's a lot simpler to go from this to making this a more solid head grill or even divider if you wanted to go that way, than going solid to airflow. You know, we can actually take a sheet and have it cut and tack it on to make this solid if you need to kind of have a little bit more separation for your horses. Where again, if we were going the other way, we were having to completely build a whole new divider. But this is the most popular because of airflow. It just allows so much more air movement in this trailer. The best example I can give you is on hot days where it's, you know, stuffy and no air movement at all, it's miserable. But a little breeze kicks up and it makes a big difference. So anytime we can create airflow in there, in these trailers for these horses, the better. Pads on these guys as well on the chest. This head grill actually does pivot out of the way, so we can actually move it from side to side. So again, if I'm working off the trailer, you know, if I want to bring this horse in and I want it out of the way, and maybe I'm just utilizing this door, again, I can go either direction with it. So it's a nice feature there to have. You're probably going to notice above each horse, up on the ceiling, you're going to have two-way roof vents as well. So directly above their heads, so we can create that airflow down. And again, if you open up those back Dutch doors or even the bus windows on the Dutch doors, you create that vacuum. Air wants to go somewhere. So when you force these roof vents forward to grab air and come down, it'll want to go over the horse's back, keeping them nice and cool. But you'll notice, you know, kick mats on the wall, really high. They're just below those windows. We understand we're dealing with bigger horses. taller horses, so everything has to go up a little bit. But if you give Cimarron a lot of credit too, once you start putting your hands on everything in the stall area, everything has a radius. There's no sharp, edges, no 90 degrees. Everything is smooth. Horse safety is first and foremost. So with that also is you're going to get that insulated roof that's standard on all Cimarrons. What's important is that stuff is really strong and durable. It'll take 150 pounds per square foot, so it'll take substantial hail. I love the fact that it keeps a stall area 20% cooler than aluminum sheeted roofs. So it will make a massive difference in just temperature control in this stall area by having that. And again, that is standard on every single Cimarron. On the flip side of the trailer, when we go down to the floor, you have a 12-inch deck piece that locks in high and low, so 2 points of contact, like tongue and groove. But what you have is the industry's best floor. 4-inch centers with the V-truss in the middle of that guy. The best way to explain it is, imagine hoof size of a horse, wherever they're standing on a support beam. So that floor is really going to hold up over time. Again, industry's best floor. Rubber mats. If you wanted to go with like worm flooring, we could do that. That could be an upgrade for you. It is cheaper to do it when the trailer is new versus used, because the price will go up per square foot if the trailer is used. But if you want to, you can always add it. But again, it's a little bit more cost effective at the beginning if you want to. So that's that permanent unpenetrable rubber mat floor there. So it's a two-person job, just because of not so much the weight, but just the awkwardness and the length of it. But I can unpin everything, so get rid of chest bars and butt bars. And then we can actually unpin from the floor and then up on the ceiling. And we can actually take this divider and we can move it over against this right-hand wall. You can see the hardware in the floor. Those are heavy UHMW plastic pieces there that this will actually lock into right there. So you don't necessarily have to unpin it and remove it and figure out where to place it. It actually can stay in the trailer. So we can move it over. You can keep your butt bar and chest bar on those walls right there, but it can slide over. So again, you can create that box stall, whether it's giving a horse more room, or if again you want to haul some toys or something along those lines. Those same OptiBrite lights, you have 2 of them, basically kind of about point of shoulder on each horse in here. Again, having a lot of lights is never a bad thing. You'll be pretty happy with it. You will get in situations where it's really nice to have. If you don't need it, that's great, but there will come a time where you'll need all that all that light, just to be able to see what you have going on. Now over here on the driver's side, same thing. You have your Dutch door that's wrapped around. Access door going into the stall area, same thing. It's got the drop down feed door in it with jail bars and a 16-inch awning light. So again, you have those lights on each side of the trailer. Ton of lights on the trailer just so you can see when it is dark. So I'm going to give you the stock number for reference on this trailer. Again, it's a 2025 Cimarron 2-horse Warmblood bumper pole. That stock number is 5N250021. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade or downsize, we can help you there. Delivery is an option, so we could potentially bring it to your door, and financing. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Appreciate you tuning in, and have a good day.